abusia fo nyina ye chia mo ene nsoso ya tena se o man Ghana ho komodie ye yankasa se ne be ya ye be fa ntoma pa afra na o man ya ye krabehe enu nti ena da bi esi nkonwa na ye boa ma adwonto ato anum ne betimi ama ye betimi yakọ enima chense ne ye tie midi ni kodwa sare ba for champion kaba ene enkomo ben na wa prono so nanado o man penida da kofo ni mpanifo ahodo pii no a ena buotwi ekotrada kopie mu ewo dom kwa benya bato mpesa so na no ejoada na ensemo ano ekoso ni nyina nse maame adwo asafo ene na panic campaign huntuma ensem pii na mpanifo a mabo mudin eworo ekogu ho yede ho amane yebo ede bebrel saa so ena electoral commission akasa fe abato ene ni titiru nyame ya adoma by elections here ba beba so no ena afi creation of constituencies ni ho nkọ ba ntini nyina no efa abato ne ho nkomodie electoral commission say what is asem no court de nanso no de mfa no ho obekoso a no wa create new constituencies de na wo mo de asem na kodan court no e wo ka fa na by elections so ebeba so e wo kwabre west ena afi Wellinson no ade na akwa atwuma mentwi say electoral commission say or the old voter register na be adwuma MPP for say there be da nya de ombe pini masa de na koso say emra ema electoral commission ho kwan nti ede na atwuma mentwi e wo saa ensemi mu saa so ena aban the task force about Guta Ghana Union of Traders Association Ghana Ministry of Trade and Industry ne ahodo pii no aka bo ma the task force about yet to store mu ahodo mu wo mem ha wo mu a emra mo ho kwan se ombeton bobodwa retail trading no ama ene ECOWAS de omo agim Nigeria for mpanifo bi say adan ne nyina West Africa bibrim ha na yedi dwa na yesi yemprema wo mo amu ya hoho emeton ye mani bo so say okọ Nigeria ne ama hodo mu a Ghana fo bi nso etonton ne marketing keti bi sa di wo nso so ombe pam Ghana fo ne atoto store mu a ede ne bi si West Africa we ni nkomodi a ede bro na no pempenifo a wo mo atena se ede nkomo na ede bro Asante Regional Secretary Asante Mantemu Party Church for Penny Dema National Democratic Congress ora Joseph Yami enche ha enano pe opani ye mo achimo akaba sanso so ena yankasa ye maame eye otiko afisejaba National Women's Organizer and the New Patriotic Party maame also ye mo achimo akaba yo etina ye de nkomo no hihye so no minim se nipa miensa ena ye cameraman ni mpanifo atwa ho hye odem ha ye noso nipa pimpim na enano pe mo hwe enti mo adwen kire bitimi abo ye papa 1760 text line a ubetimi ede wadwen kire de aba ifra no pa bisa be ni text message bebre no anaba enche making kind am mana say kaba@myjoyonline.com email address a ubetimi asend me email ana obekọ multi tv Ghana ye Facebook or na de wadwen kire de ato yanko electoral commission na fe fa about onsem enhye enra Dr. Kojo Farijan ya wono ena edwom tinani de ma Ghana Electoral Commission ekasa efa nsem ahodo pi by elections ebeba so Kwabre West ena afi Wellinson ena afi creation of constituencies ena afi nsuso no abato na kasa ene ahoboabo a strong room amanfo se eho de pa ne ade eho yenko ni nkoti eba mpanifo atena se yebeja adwenkyere eho
Representatives are very disruptive. Sometimes when you are losing, you refuse to sign the results. Sometimes you make the mistake in thinking that, oh, if we are not there and we haven't signed the results, it means they cannot. No. There is no requirement in law that if you don't sign the results, we cannot use those results. It's an opportunity that we give to you. We will accept the results as sent to us by our returning officers in Ashanti, and we will accept the results as sent to us by our returning officers in the Volta region. Finish, because you don't have anything to control. So people say, why don't you wait until next year before you do it? Why should I wait until next year before I do it? Why? Well, I will, yes, we will do it. We will, please. You see, it's not, you don't get up and say, hey, the following constituencies have been created. You go through a process, all right? Even sometimes you want to come and beat us up here because of the name we have given to a constituency. Huh? Yes. You're the party people. You want to come here and beat us up because of the name we've given to a constituency. So we must be careful in doing all these things. All right? Now, we have to send them back to the regions. They will do the consultation and make sure, look, is it going to be Afajato or is going to be East Dai? You see, if I sit here and say that it's going to be Afajato, and it gets there and I say, no, we wanted East Dai, then I'm in trouble. So we have to be very careful, even the names that we give.
Dr. Afarijan, any questions, electoral commission, one more council be creating constituency, you be creating, you be creating or China. You didn't cry boy, the man now, I'm for a Badwam. Biometric voter registration, say you be you so well in scenic cabre, seeing you so, and also acquire my mention. I mean, my mention is from feel so now. About one sense, I mean, a new patriotic party for Nano, and then a son in Rakrano. Na nabu Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe Chichi mu say emra ya yegyina so a yede beto aba sisi aba metric no a mrahye bedwafo agya tumu no face out say ye free hokra voter registration dada no na so electoral commission for say dada no a no be use ya adwuma no nso akoya twema mentwe wo sa ensem enra Joy FM ne unua Richie Kwashiga so kasa o sa asemi no o say em say nia Dr. Napo Kano, one in a I drink a crap. Sa battle no because one in Sinu Cabreno. Electoral Commission for say biometric on Yadi meet me you saw. Money on my drink. The party Mbafa but 2-1 among the bank.
Well, but I see very mean why we can disagree with the Electoral Commission when on my against on Bayadian. As he said, if disagree with the Electoral Commission. And also so what certain stance we say also consider and you might be then you can say ubetimi na so bi but me know kaze political parties ni be nra ba EC na PPP ni no crowd say they are winning the elections willing see ne kwabre meaning that they have candidates and they are campaigning so what na say obetwe manso na obewie na manso na kwangusi baby e say no then one will say wakachi then they go ahead. And until my busa Dr. Afarijan meeting as unfortunately I was part of the meeting, of course, with Electoral Commission. Political parties, 3 from each political party, from each region. In Tinra, voter region and Ashanti region. I'm told say last week in the Greater Accra and Eastern region.
And I
was part of of the meeting. And my ask a question with Dr. Afarijan said they will go ahead with it. He gave certain, explanations to the NTR, or go ahead with the old register. Now, Kaba last week, now me call bank said, me could change my signature. My using for a very long time, and I've changed it into anytime me call back to Barclays Bank, and I'm operating with them since 1999. My change signature, but me could be a problem, especially when man come here me branch. Na me call other branch say be me kope bibi kakra me problem. Ti me yes me call back to my branch no ma change signature. You have to go through certain process. Also do ID card. Then me new ID card I also want
adenji
because omuntimi verify the
say
new ID card. Easy ni nyam anwie na de. They still do with the old register.
That's old one. I'm for the
of course. That is the argument being put across. But much as omuni be to verify second nekra na yewa. And after every registration be any omo edin kita and throughout be. So if that is the issue there, na easy no so we na nra so your call meeting you who say and your course because your data entry section ho and say the call strong room ho your share see the university. As we speak with you now, they are still collating the names near the from the districts. Kaba until yesterday, na me so me wo omo or more can say easy na check in bringing out the names near the no. But then I could do who say all political parties agreed say it is not that easy. Yenya you outside ni if you say easy no 2 days 3 days after the registration I should have come out with the register. I didn't know say kids nina from the polling stations down to the constituencies down to the regional level no nina back to the electoral commission and they are picking the hard drives one after the other. Download whatever information there was what almost sending it through on network they are still manually doing these things and it takes some time and some come together with the register and no kahona ma delay na at the ababontin and until they come out with the say back exhibition they can't authenticate the register itself and from to abontin and that is why they are still going by the old register since new one enyanye complete. So then we'll ask yourself a question say and yeah na law no ya amending
the next question can be
but may assure say the electoral commission and so before and as a parliament it take its decision to amend the law no also had in mind say law no a bit take effect from this time and before a bit take effect something can happen. I'm sure that mra bia no will be adwin two sides to emra. So are we saying say emra ni nyanya adwuma nwie and isi ni nyang complete you know when there's a by election we shouldn't do it. Should the constituency now or more a loose member of parliament you know should they lose the seat in the council or more year because isi ni nwie register no ana. If you listen to that argument in there Obawuni say if there is any possibility of having an MP represented I was here to me. And the EC is also arguing from this point to say, anytime there are certain people who do not have ID cards, but go through the process, verified and vote. Because in 2008, when you come to Ashanti region, I always talk about Ashanti region, I talk about other regions. Near books no be three or card oba yesi kwakwehesa book e munko audio then you go there your picture is there you show when ni amwa den ni amwa wakwakoto abano. So if we used this in 2008 why can't we use it in 2012?
But the mrano so face old one out it's all the no to ho a mama dwene me na kakra
minti facing off no I say I'm not sure that those that are talking about facing off no will assume say they know better than the EC.
Na say easy no all knowing.
That is why ye nina ye all knowing. So ye ntimi obi ntimi mfa ono na adwene no hye ye tirim say because ono no ti ase this way ni ntina wase enso ye ti ase that way. It cannot be possible.
And so the court no mu ko
that is why the EC as we are not I mean naming Jina EC no say.
But because I say
for them
elements within the NDC and me can say NDC for but elements within the NDC seem comfortable with the existing positions old
we
one
don't seem comfortable. Ye pentema ko by election ni akọ win akire nkrofo.
Oh, so
that is all.
Okay. But me say John Assembly kra me samra. General Secretary New Patriotic Party me amofa ura kojo uso free say John wa homa so obani ye mo ache mo akọ aba bedwam ni e.
Me mo so na mo te say.
Nyame adum ye hu yo na so e.
Aboko ba wona na de tuji ko boy.
Me ba to ka ba ni e.
Dabi me NDC.
Yami.
Oh, okay. That's not to say.
No way, Papa.
Yeah, Mama, or Montia says, and some say, Ba. Yeah, woman, and penny phone in Comor, Namranti, and the almost came to the Canada. Subject Canada, the four political parties, NDC, MPP, PNC, CPP. Yet, we are to say, Sanchez, and a fine time, or person, or did that by Dada the Trabano. Yɛne na nyadwen yɛne na mpere so nti yɛnyina saa party for na yɛka bomu a yɛde asɛm no court ɛkɔdane court na nyame yɛadom a yɛama court ne nsa to abatoɔ no soɔ ti na bɛka kyerɛ me nua me sɛ yɛ ba saa no a ɛnyɛ ɔno nko a na yɛanom tae saa ayifo no pii political parties no woyɛ na regional secretary bi no ɔtɔ no wakasa abere a wɔmbu sa ɛbi ankran sɛ yɛkora yɛ party position ne the position of all the political parties and they say abano after Jan or the new old register to Abanwa any year. And then Mrakwanso no. The CI 72 no. I CI 12 no. Yama for Jan to me, ma what the old register to Aban, a trend. No Ankasa regulation 32 no, a can the CI 12 no had been revoked. The Nipa is a Nipa who some Ampoma, Yazan Fanny Mefi, embassy no. The engineer say, they are true dinner. That's a electoral commission on 1 year card. Celebrate you come on your 1 year ready. Sir, what they new register no a man. If you say, study on one kind, on go through the processes to say a display of the brands, provisional register. Though we near Kodoma, a son of final register, but some of him the head man. What is 1 year, and that's 1 year card there. And you know, or you on one casa, or to two, only the Fiasi, or to two fee and sana, therefore, ever trouble. And yet, Constitution, man, I say, I could never tell her, Yabona Mania, that's a Bosumin son of Parliament in Ugua, which we trapper. Yet may I be inside. That woman said, you didn't pass so any dignity. You didn't pass in the trapper. He said, oh, trouble and the Constitution, because you're a trapper. Now, so but trouble. Now, we need in a swap, we need the part of the trouble. When you say, Emra, the man cries, so Uncle Trouble. I don't think all political parties in Najitusa and to be a Namia, want them be a DPA or court to them. I don't think Abrantian or Mokasa, Mokaka, Omne, or Mopedi, Funinko, Asana, Assemseno, or maybe Yano.
Sir John, where the Yenya or Yemisao, electoral commission, so they are to just say constituency here or be creative 45, you know. And yet they are because even though when you say Asamino or court, and also so MPP Mokandi and found.
No, no, and actually, almost say Asamo court. Now, say several. Now, we are party near Unyaka Haribi. Now, one of the releaser, Unyaka, any an injunction to stop you from, restraining you from undertaking a certain process. Even if Onyanko court to crown the order itself, you cannot go ahead and then say something there, Besaka Kata, the Koso. And no, what the Malaysian is saying, and no subject to trust them and now or and Manakwasa. When you say 1 month for court, one more assemble the electoral commission, say assemble court. Electoral commission also did not assemble court. It is a Obi Sama also the peace now court there. I just say a more some winning, so saying that here. Now, Sana winning with the want to be kind of sitting now. May is that the Sabio Obia Sama or Assassin? Now, also so could get an injunction. Now, one of the leagues are open. So, a court in Valenza, and to so no chance, who say, Bedia Seminary. Now, some media down the Missy. Then, sir, this is a lawyer, be out, be true for say, once a sudden war to Boissy, a good assassin, Yabakan. The foot of them, a little commission say, or no, I just say a 7 no, so a day, now, some I go down court in the lawyer for no. On train could say, media seminary.
So John Opay, Badwam, yeah, that's for Papa. No, National Women's Organizer, Mammy Tikusua, and also watch out.
Brew, Machiao, now, the two gotcha, and we are now about the Dinkomo office. Yamin Caron, if it's all the man of Pepe. Aye.
And I open so just on time office, Anna.
Oh, man, your office in 1 year. Mano, Yana Bonte, Titu, 2012 video. Into Tico, Papa. Mano said the Osibo Mano, a Bodero, now don't we have more from party and so, a party and so that I say, on Trassus, and Kunundia, and check no Kunu to a trap. Now, Sabi, I say Babu did the Coco Drew womb, a man couple tree, what means they didn't could drew a woman, man could see a woman, open a couple channel. It won't trust on 1 year, partner than I say.
So, John, I don't pay Badwam for it as a Papa. General Secretary, New Patriotic Party. Sir John, could you also free any attending camp? I see our office in there. Yeah, I mean, or say you are not in touch with your headquarters.
Yes, you see, discussing headquarters.
But
the young city records in the street. Talking about
position.
Enra statement a free easy way then. And Sir John to me die take that decision in there. Then would have said something. But me meeting, and I was part of the meeting, and we are sure seeing if you listen to interviews a call New statements a free MPP for annual. We all agreed with the statement coming from the Electoral Commission boss because nobody disagreed. Yes, nobody disagreed with it. And it is not only the NDC that is talking about, and we are not talking about party positions. We are talking about what transpired yesterday. They were meeting us. Into my understanding of the Electoral Commission boss, that is what we are discussing now. And you know the visa said, you know, the Obama, he will also be defeating on one case and ask him. Maybe he just wanted to score cheap points. But yeah, also in the minister or Sre will be our own.
For creation of constituencies in the count of a member
of course. You see, me one big problem. The creation of the constituencies, especially with the MPP. See why the MPP has a problem with the creation of the new constituencies. I don't understand. Your core meeting last week, Kumase. Now me catch is in the constituencies we na omba be ho adwuma ke bia against you pursue because constituencies na omo I mark say about betitim. It's going to be difficult for us to even win. Of course, because baby or more, maybe say baby or more, they are doing it in the very typical strong, holes of the MPP. That's it. If that is the issue, they are adding an MPP for only raising concerns. I am just meeting a co and make one some natural. So if you are doing it from the typical strongholds of the MPP, where of course, for more, it still be very difficult, even though I know that you can win. That's it. And non MPP for being on there, I zoom and I see a painting a picture as if say, and this is for critical consequences to benefit them. Secondly, Messiah is surprised because MPP for raise timing. I don't know the timer in 2004. Yeah, they achieved new constituencies. But if it was in 2003, then the MPP has a case. But meaning very well, say in 2004, January, I think I need a parliament to go through the processes and send creating new constituencies. I am very sure, very aware, say creation of new constituencies happened exactly this time in 2004. But I very well say now the vice president of the state, then the communication director of the NDC, His Excellency John Mahama, raised the same questioner and the MPP for a raise. And none of me feels that and I think we are settled issues surrounding creation of new constituencies. They already expect the MPP today to be raising these same questions. That time, the Honorable Damboche was the General Secretary of the MPP. Mekai very well said His Excellency the Vice President, a raise issue said the timing was wrong, logistics for the for members and also a big problem, especially when Ghana is said to be a HIPIC country. The statement of the General Secretary of the party, Dambuchi, that time, I said they don't have any problem with the Electoral Commission.
Yes, that is no problem.
You see, you are talking about a political party that is in opposition and has been in power before. Our TSA, when what is opposition, when what is power. And so the end no what power, now opposition be cultural. If he goes to opposition, he shouldn't repeat it. That is my point.
But as I'm not sure, say, politicians no more kasa different. Mobile position mo kasa different. Ne mumu no say mu nyina no mu say saa de ne nya. Na Obroni be say there should be a stopping point somewhere.
Of course, that stopping point should start with the
they say omo e bi nsumu so ma bi ti I want one draw. It next time moving forward no.
If you say omo e bi ti enye bia, then you are assuming that it is the government in power that creates constituencies, which is not true.
But the Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Farijan, Eddie can say this is not more creative, more by creative, no. And now forcing inside. Ama originally no also be created 20. They say I saw the 25 count, they call 45.
Me about Kaba, when you come to Ashanti region, you are creating how many constituencies? Districts 3. But East you creating 8 constituencies.
But money problem.
I'm just
but
yes, of course. If you go to Volta region, I'm told it's 7 districts and you are creating constituencies saying you create 4. So if that is the issue, if that is the point, then it means that I will say Volta region and you are more than 7 seats. But that is not the issue. So if you sit down today and say you critique district and nothing else force me critique constituency, yeah, I wouldn't understand the point. It is not about Dr. Afarijan Asema. It is about also understanding of the issue. The issue is that Ashanti region, there were 3 districts. 3 new districts, Agogo, Afram Place, and Asokoromampo. Meanwhile, EC is creating 8 constituencies in Ashanti region. As you understand, they are telling us that it is about 9:1, 9 to population, 1 to landmark. And that is what they are using in calculating. And that is exactly what they used in 2004. So if in 2004, by the time I mean many fee, you are creating new constituency, there have been challenges. In 2004, there was a challenge. Challenge and it said, Papa Bia, yes, a farmer, Bronhafo, or the Assembly Court to the Supreme Court. Before the Supreme Court ruled, now EC not come out with the constituencies. No, what Chem, no, EC is ruling. So the EC is saying that it's going ahead to create the constituencies. Say if Emrano stop on one, then you stop. If Emrano stop on one, then they go ahead because they have in mind to create new constituencies. It has never been a political party in power influencing the EC to create constituencies. If the MPP influence the EC to create 30 constituencies in 2000. But then they should tell us. Then we will agree. Say 2008.
Joseph, you mean, Mami Kotiko, Nansano, Mami PNC for Argentina, Memra Otiko, General Secretary de Ma PNC Bernard Mona Homanaso. Bernard, good morning. Okay, I heard Bernard Homanaso. Otiko, issues na abani na no, mienti we.
You answer my question. My person make chia itifu na mama. Good morning and happy Republic Day. So abitwam. Emrano de yenina yegidi say e was say efwaso according to the constitution no. Na ye kunko yenim no nso yenina yenim say constitution 1992 constitution no. E wo gaps bi a yakase yenkoye constitutional amendments and so on. Eno na yetimi kra edi ada Elias abamu te say 72 year abitwa CI 12 nim. Eni nti ye kunko ye nim no. E was say yetimi improve on the situation a yewum. Eni ye nyina ya je tumu say e was say ye biometric registration no. Ni yakoye biometric registration ha. Ya je tumu say ye cards no foforo. Yaje to say yeah verification. Sa biometric registration no. Yenye exhibition didn't we. Nti yenni new register.
But for my try say menya Bernard be ma me and masamba on chain. And they say no na hwesenia other political parties no agent. Bernard e mo akwaba e de ba bedwom me na no pa multi TV.
Open my so. Talking and calling. Hello?
Yes, Bernard.
Yes, Chief.
Bernard, good morning. Ya mo akwaba biem na biometric registration constituency creation no nkroneba. Menim say electoral commission no more political parties they are to say mu pese mo he na adwun toto ntimi konka. But ye ne say adwun atwetwe nkomo sisi a o kire say political party mu nyina mo de mo adwun atomu say mo the electoral commission be kokko so insist say or the old voter register no na be Wallency ni kwa brea. Me ba cho mo support this position no.
Opinion me da se say me no e kasa no pay. Na nsema e woman say ye nyina na ye tum say electoral commission on ye new biometric registration in Maya. And no betimi abua ama multiple registration. Na if you register no. Na ye no ye nyina ye nim say electoral commission onyan wie na ejuma. Sisi a me no e kasa yi register na ya kwaturo ye din eno nkyere say we have done a new register. Ye tro ye din no na kire say niam bebre wo mu a electoral commission on yin siesie ansa na wetimi aka say new register ne ne. Omo ntimi anyi din bebre a omo atro guma enye say enwo register ne mu. Enti say ye say electoral commission on fa sa register no na on fan ye willing see any Kwabere West elections here. One share here ever happen because next say we are doing an illegality. Second thing, electoral commissioner and say they are finished the exercise. The old register has been replaced. They are in the process of replacing the old register. Until the day we are at a crossroads. And the say Ghana constitution so and my point say 6 months to election and 5 months to the next elections. No, not say MP in Niho and I be hasi. I say young call by elections. Now, sir, constitutional imposition no, and no na and higher. Yeah, you were PNC. You were a program I draw for the elections. Not to see, we have to disrupt the program because there is 2 by-elections for us to go and conduct. Resources are yeah they kwakoye jumai. Sika yeah baba say in the process. Yeah we na in less than 2 months no. Sa candidate na ya elect no. Yes, I do not call another elections in the general elections. Say yanto abamano anama yanto abamano. When you na osha sika say ye Ghana sika ye de baba ye juma emboy nyina because you see an akas 5 months. 5 months you mo ye by elections na aka 4 months. 4 months 2 months and sa ni pakuro no obeye juma. After that no ontimi nya hwibio. Enti nka PNC nkwandia yes say all the political parties should agree say we should stay off the Williamsey and Kwabere West by elections. Now, share say betimi atu aba in the December elections.
Now, Bernard,
unfortunately, no. And yet,
now maybe Sasa na betwaso no. Say Kobani sa Kwabere constituency ni Wallins no. Or more representation in Parliament. Or would they not miss out? Or many of them or more my name was our constituency
for the 2 months.
Me wa trying.
For the 2 months without representation, no, and never higher. Onya mama yen share neoma biso for 2 months and asani pano okwakoye juma in parliament na so okodru parliament na waye ni juma for 2 months. What is he going to do? Familiarization crampo onyen wiye. What you say? So effectively there is no representation but by name. But asani pakrono onye juma bia wa parliament committees be wi o juma. Clearly, we are going to expend national resources for a cause that is not meritorious. And the unfortunate thing is that the PNC say yeah, contested by elections no, because we don't want the nation to lose resources. Not NDC uncontested, MPP uncontested, CPP uncontested. Yen to me say independent candidates so ma omonko contested. And say electoral commission ADA kwan say omonko chiro mudi na so obi kochiro ni din ya so nye votes mi enu krampo a sa votes no eno na ye de be declare winner we and ye nyina and we are pleading with all say we should look at the national interest to see say either we stay off or we all participate knowing very well that there's no importance in this election.
Well Bernard ye de be sia na ya da wasi nyina be di akire ni ahwe bia kwa kusi General Secretary aha
mini ayemi wo ho
wo ha
takran say me wa sankana sesi ameka say nti ombreshie
o consensus you know
onim say yo yemi nu apa
ye nyina enim
onim
minim papa
takran say ombreshie
General Secretary the ma PNC Bernard Mona and etin kan bacho to asoma na
enti ne na me kan say processes no exhibition kra yenye enti the whole idea of biometric ne say be clean register no ebinu waka baby ebinu mu to kwan akọ different places ebinu mu ni ho enti say yakofa old register na ebe go against kona ye ko akoye nim no eno nso o kai say na multiple registration nyina eka ho enti minim say emrade e wo ho na mra nso ye ma enipa dasani enti yanga na ye ka say ye pesa mra no na ye hu say mra no emoye because time ani ye emra we sa article 112 article 5 1992 no na ye Ghana nyanko biometric na eno aba beka ho e na asesa eniema mu kakra enti ye wo say de sa eniema no na yetimi reconcile eniema tu no to ensure say Ghana never benefit from it. From the NYT na miti wafaya at the beginning of NDC national organizer or count who asem say sadi MY miti kwashiga ono so ka nti when you say a MPP asam there be a Ghana asam ene ye nyina ye ka ne ye beboa ama the best interest of Ghana ayeye ne ye hwe we ya as you were saying nipa bebre will be disenfranchised because old card no omo to atwene ana omu hu bebia e wo because you need say new one no beba
your picture IDs picture ene o nti se onkuta card kra no ba yehwe mu a ubemuzotiko nimfoni ni ampa ebe me na to aba
yes eno ye possible but eno so uti anye ye na okohie obi a oni adaje a ubemu se obeche ho ana obekọ beebi a ofil se udin wo na udin ni ho na afi na obekọ round ubehu sa na wonto aba no. Secondly, parliament recess July ye ko by election na time be na papa ye san eba ye be ye amana aba no na sika yakosai as na benedika na time o de beba pa afi na obesuasua ne ma e de na okwa ho enti wo ka say representation ni wa what is the meaningful representation there because akaka krani akoto aba oba ya so ne esa ya kwakoto
samra na se ekono ekosisa no say at least 6 months to instead of the 3 months yenye ne be 6 months because existing law ne say so be 3 months to before general elections are me and to by election.
Yeah.
We see and say you na say existing exigencies in nyema ho nti yes anwa. And the say exam ran.
Madwe ni say was yes and constitutional review no. Sa na me nyina e was so mo de ka ho. Near review because 1992 ye were 2012. E was etimi hihye nyema no to come current with current society na ye wom e na nsem na e kokokoko so no. Se ukona uko yes aba election ye you ene wakwa akoboka aban so akoboka na wo sign ko general election na wulusu a na nkrofo no eden na wetimi aya aboa wo for me that is very critical maybe sa 2 months obeden no nya e ex gracia for coming for 2 months no
na so I still
remember double jeopardy of financial loss to the state because ejuma be na obetimi aya in 2 months nipa ni hu. To be quite honest, me per se, ye nyina yeti ye ho asese, we nye MPP asam. Eya ye ka niema, ye hu se Ghana no, ye Ghana nyina asam. Nti wo beka asam a, me enka se MPP fo na e ka ni sei. Ye nko IPAC, Interparty Advisory Committee no. Ni enko ka asem ni ye se, sa ne ye ken, emwa ye nyina. Ye nyina ye nyintu because me de mate from all the political parties, even PNC so abeka omo de. Mati Wafaya, Mati Kwashiga, Mati Miami General Secretary, Mati Elections Committee from even the society. And some air question say, really a waste of money. And it is important to say, you bet me a can't mean test biometric register, no, say, ebeko yamaye, and near who gaps in a womb, and Sunny Ako, December. But see, ain't me and you swear no, and ye quite a chibium, a you see all register, and then ye repeat our multiple voting, and all the other challenges are, and they all register now, ye cast a yen discarding and for front. And then I didn't in a year for front. I didn't in a year for front. And it is in the interest of Mother Ghana, say, ye be jai sa by election ye. Na ya kwa ye general election no. Na ye keep it no because you say elections also they are very 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 expensive and ye easy. Na nipa boka akwa ye by election. Why we nie no obekọ general election no asan yakọ lusu. E asam MPP we are ready to go for the by election if we have to. Oh, and no dey say sa no obeka. Sa no obeka. Enye nwanwa so obeka sasa. Na me nso minim say yenso ye kwa ye be win ni PNC for also feel say omukwa ombe win ni obi ho kwa election me why na kwa election na obeka je also be lose. Nobody will ever say that. But election na ye kwa akoye na ye wi a you be win no say ewi ase be hu. Enti say nyin say onye ma utimi fancy wo wa go fa no so a ye be hu. Ah wo so a ye be hu. Enti MPP there we are confident to say and ready for the by election. Ye kwa nyame be kire ni obe win ni. But ye be boa Madagana no. And from all that has been said, you know, I was here called IPAC meeting. Near can ye, then now of na ubi ante ne hoase. Concerning the
creation of the
new constituencies and also. And just say MPP say any say baso debi. Say you na ya die to say after a census no, you create new districts and so on. But we share your parliament, any your population. Yeah, now almost 25 million. Yeah, and I what 230 seats. Yes. We share to say UK say they have over 55 million. It's close to 60 million this year. But how many seats do they have there? We share America. Almost triple your population. But how many seats do they have there? So these are things the Ghana no. It was here. Say some rana you can say after every population census no. It was here creating new districts, new constituencies. I will say you check it sadly no. As a nation, share whether we can contain it because creating of all these things and also another extra cost to the state. MP so mbeba I will say we sign share one. Whole ex gratia common fund any name be offices cry a pay amount up to date in Timinye Saniemano. But the reality on the ground near East Bekachre and they say or share population and land mass in 9 to 1 minuya no okay. But what shall any saso in all the places were created a let's take for example northern region, any eastern region. Northern region landmass is surpassing eastern region in terms of population and so also northern region now 31 and the eastern region 32.
So northern region by population
by population by land northern region has the biggest landmass in this country. There is a contradiction in that area. And inti quite ben so na easy edi bu say northern region should have 31 and eastern region 32. It doesn't make sense following on one argument no. Osha Afran Plains so far population omo de is a new 60,000 na ye kano Afran Plains. And inti ukoka say o divide Afran Plains enru. Now wager baby and no population here over 60 million 60,000. What are you following the regulations? Let's just say there are contradictions. Now wherever there are contradictions, there is confusion because one yama what can say no uniso from what the EC is telling us. And inti sanyama no and now ye di 52 years no. I will see it to me a year. Because you have found to 2 years near say, oh, and obisu ye na. And I find that extremely infantile. We are dear now we are bofra. Ubenya was a son near we. Ghana di 52 years, and ya collab. And in Tinema near ye before, maybe at the age of 49, at the age of 16, at the age of 15. You don't expect to say, already 52, no, you repeat the same old mistakes. Okay. Intimacy repair say, Yantanasi as a nation. Near share creation of new constituencies. Near share mrana yedi no. I will say a year smooth, a year universal. No be at in one say. Say no, ne yedi yan funny so that northern region for will say a bigger landmass and population there. And I was saying more. But something sa and yan Afran Place also our number ni so na baby so omo de doso near create Afran Place yechemuno and also ntiasema ubehu say the confusion and in the year of election no you don't need confusion. I will say yina ye call on an equal playing level no be ate ne ho ase say ne ye call no near follow emrano should not give advantage to anybody. Emra means that there should be equity. That's what Eastern region 32 me. I'm not even talking about political parties. I'm talking about the reality on the ground. But so Eastern region 32, Northern region 31. Then there's no equity in that type of calculation or distribution.
Eastern region, number of people by population 2010 population says almost the Northern region.
Now,
only say assassinate, but no is such an Eastern region. ATM said that
there are issues because on one workers or 91. Into the same rano juma. Then calculation now why am northern region, eastern region, no. In fact, calculation also the Afran Plains as opposed to be a population also saying Afran Plains and also in fact. So there is confusion.
You move on. Text messages about also. You don't need that in an election year. Yeah, me, can be account. Now, Mamifa, I'm out for adventure. About what say is where NYEP is doing. Okay, is the NYEP doing their work well? We've not been paid since last December. Now me ascend north and I ascend for soon or the field by NYEP phones me and I have drink. But Muti or Mukawai, Muti or Muka. Can I please investigate for us? We teachers have who have completed or those of us who completed Training College in 2010 has still not been paid up to date. Really? Adom. Happy birthday to Eugene Ochre Dako. Yawo in Suta Mampon. Or say, I love you so much, Papa. And I did buy. Kaba news from Panda is that one administrator chopping. Okay, I'm saying you need who evidence in the end kind. Or say some of our MPs, they are not serious. That's why Parliament is like that. From Bra Matthias or Boase. Happy birthday to Alice Safwa Yawo Kibi Government Hospital. Ben Ewon Kraha and Odima. Alice, very good morning. Come out. Kaba, you were once a teacher. I'm probably today. How can I be on the foot for 2 years without being paid? From 2010 to date, we've not been paid. Adom and our fee as in all municipal. So I teacher for pay who answer me. We be training college here, do better skill. And so cry as him. As a move. My face be that. But Yamo Bay. Lord, I said to Badwam say, a Shanti region cover. These are politicians for you. If they want power, they will humble themselves like babies. Now they have power. Look at what they are doing. It's a car loan or salary. That's what they have gone for. Okay. Or say I swear Wahala NDC will be Gangan 20 bad luck. They won't win. MPP all the way. Hobby in a defeat. Or say rate J Pharmacy or Aguna Jama say okay. Or say Salifu Ahwaya Nye offenso. Better Ghana agenda is moving on successfully. Or say political enemies and envy will kill them. They should keep their mouth quiet. God bless my grandfather Nana Kwabna Ango. One of the chief of Awudia. Atada my in the Dubai or say kind of antima. Okay, Mpocho Nana Mpocho Yama Utinkwa. Aye, Yama Utinkwa. Or say the MPP want the president. Okay, mental text message in a year. Dr. Bodi must protect what he's doing to save. Okay, my salary 3 million during the MPP time. I'm now better. It is now gone up. Or say Kaba and I want your full name, but Nanaya Brefo, no, or the Nanaya Brefo, English name you know become actually me watch remo. Menso medical jasa about for a time English name back could become actually if I count. Ahoma nemo yanko ahoma so fire watching jan national organizer adema NDC or ahoma so electoral commissions and some APP mu yemisa say offer so na dwen chere ho offer am watch mu akwa ba bedwam ne
I mean Jesus o menio
ohona mboko de
o Yesu adom ye ho ye na mo so e
nyame adom ye ho ye papa
de nyame ase
offer ye je adwen chere electoral commissions and some aba by elections abeko so okwa abre western afi wolensi de biometric say the biometric number 2 say the can voter register near the beto creation of constituencies a hon sense some abano of our party NDC near partner moka edifa hon
I mean you made that bebre NDC officially as far as I'm concerned no ye ma out ma me can say ABSC and ACC nyame adoma a Tuesday be a committee na I'm a team for Ebekaya na ye wudumasuno bi ewo enimana ye ne yen nipa ebetu frank amai won peswa so adanse o mo pese o mo pray brasha kunya no wo peswa na so no ye ne certain sector eye nhyiamu na no bi memenda no a etwam no be na wotwe ne na no memenda bai na no memenda ye bai ye nsi ye ne not in Satan Kushiamu, Kumasi, Intiema, and I'm saying to the Nena, Yamia, maybe a Bishiana, yet me a sea and so yadripo. But the Matiti Moa team sending be a air coso. But we need a Macassi and Kwa, me my drink, and I'm the person which the movie and funny say a party in our official position. Nani a name who say, there were 3 issues, sir. A must have by election, we know. Who here say a transit ever IPAC near green who ye 3 issues are you want to say number 1 and you knew when you say political violence be a issue or mamu bia no to do na appointed to by elections so will be among you need the age and or castle and so be a boa boni be and na bibi sabi sinu ne kaka ho a ye refer over there near botchere pone near bo akwatia ni yebo atiwa na mribi atwam na yebo bobo nyina no wutimu se by election ye mu ni se as a political parties na kuku da mai da no ni na no ya omu kuhia only one constituency di eba na sa no a na akoye sa amaga ne amaga akwakuhia epe amaga huhu ntina akwakoye enchiwa shione the way nam hana we nam ha chese yetimi di ehwo hia ententem nam sa ni ntino ye supporters ne papa de boni na wo ni nyina nso kokuhia ho omu wo mo bayi fo no obi apeso ye mani panyin se aba ono nso no eye adwuma ma party ne pa otu behwe na political violence bi akwakopi mu sambre ya yi na ye bompa ye se 2012 elections ye betime aye asumbi na be nya 2 by elections yi se yan veye na se baako ekokofa bibia te sa na ba pe wan wi ana akosa ne general elections nti say political parties ni na ye trans na ye hwe sa de no eyi. That is number 1. Number 2, na no ada ya bo modia ababe ye voters register na ye no ye ntibu nye exhibit ye ni nti no me ye sure say ye nuanom sebisem predia wo mo a o mantibi anya kwanya nko school no ne na je ye de say oh ya tro di fufuro di ne dada ne de je say ya twatwe enti bi kura no a ne krata no a tumi krata no a na say card na obetimi akwa gina ato aba no sa bi kura watwatwe watwatwe e beka so register no di wo mu a e be mo anwo atwe timi ato aba ne bi but then obi nso di fie du nwotwe a sambre wo no so atwero ni din a legally no emba ma no kwan say mra na e wo mamu ha ne kire say udi fie du nwotwe na wo ye registered voter wutimi kokoto aba ono so fi say electoral commissioner go through process bi a watwero ni din one de say wo de ade no wa wie umye ono de oda say watwero ni din na wo si ni din wa ma na kata no nko ade na wa ma na sa card ne de eni wa wi na ono so de ba bigina ho o de bigina na ka so ye de dada ne na eto na wo nka ho a eno so wa wi e beka ko fanchi wa hyew ne ne keka ka ho aba nti no ya ye voters register foforo afia so ya de say ye nye voters register foforo bia na nka dada no ade a ene na nka ya fa ne so dada na wo ho na ni ntiri ye fe no na fi yehu ene de nko bia ni ho ase bia ka ba bia ye foforo a electoral commission ne wiye no na akoye te se ne aye wo electoral document bia eno no so ne ntibu wiye nti eno no ye fe do na enya na ase ye fa dada na mate se ebinum ka se ye de dada na ya omonti ase na ebinum so se ye de foforo no so ya ono so omonti ase na electoral commission so se dada no eno wo de beye eniti eno so no ehun asem eda ho na ni nyina mu no so no ne etwato kra ne se sa be ya ye ba betui wo hwa eye parliament omo rice be ye July ending omo rice pe ombeba October ombedi 3 weeks no ma se rice bi ni e ko prepare for general elections it is nipa na ebeto abanama no obo be di be 3 weeks pe wo parliament na wo trase na wo sese na wo hwa me papa bubo bi o si we didi anom nkwan furufuru ame onsa na wo tafre piepio na be yo de
enya ohwe
ye nipa bi ama wa betra parliament be ye fie be fa se miensa ne fa
obi kura di fie du
ne mbraso wa frɛ no ama ye nyire kwa kugya nipa no kwan na se ye ka se sam ritie wo ya kai be busu mi numi ye jai ma dem na ka ye nyina de ya hoboa ne ye kɔto aba wo mpɛso so ne ye nyu obi ma obesi na nan furia ne bi se mfa so be ba so asese ye ko pre ye ho na ye kwa kɔto aba no wo ho na nipa no ba be di bus na wotwe miensa anya busu mi mpo na wotwe miensa pe wo parliament ye so ani na 3 weeks 3 weeks ne di ampa na obeti ba ya ma no mpɛso asofo emra no makwa mom se mmri bia na so munye obi a wo beti wo mana but then ye fa ye ni mu se nye amanyosem mu na me ye but me di ye fa to ho be straightforward se ye nua mo aten ne ho ekoka adwamu wa manone na omunka na asem wiye no ahome da hwa be ya fini akiri se be se brebiasa enkoso djuma ne bibia akoso e ba se abewa yi puma wo kwa mu a ya e ba se ye nkoye ba election ye ko to aba ma major retired eba bisi na nai enti bisi se aka be bosu mi numi ame ato abai enya de anka be se mu bia se ye nyina be te ye ho ase se enam ni ya ye nyina ye de secretary so se by election na kofa violence bo ma mu hana ka ye nyina nya ye ho ti ase na ka ye nya
right
na mu mi amfa ni nyina nkohye general election mu ni e my electoral commission no kwa ma omuntimi nya voters register biometric one ya o ma yiri yi na je se emfa koto aba ni ye nyi na msifo na ba be sie nuan ma omo akamu no ana be no mo de emra no ene mo kwan se omo no enhye date na ya de beto aba no but then sɛ yɛn nso a yɛyɛ stakeholders anaa political parties yɛn nyinaa yɛkɔ adwinkurom yɛkɔtena ase ne yɛka so ɛnam sɛ ni sɛ anaa nneɛma mmiɛnsa a mabobɔ so yi nti no yɛmmɔ mmɔden anaa yɛmfa no nyinaa nkɔkɔ yɛ mu a electoral commission bɛte aseɛ sɛne ɛbɛyɛ a obi di wɔn kɔkɔɔta na wɔn atumi agyina so aka so na nkɛyɛ deɛ ɛbɛyɛ o na amanyɔfoɔ no a ana amanyɔ kuro no a yɛ a ɛsɛ ɔmo yi nipa ma ɔmo ba no ɔmo nso wɔn anim asɛm nya na esi.
Yo, ɔfɛ yɛda ase papa pa ne wadwenkyerɛ a ɔde abrɛ ɔfɛ aboatinja national organizer and the man the same so we're raising a very very legitimate issue. We're raising very anti ochina say they call yes the data net will be sukutai di ka some so my register some to about human need him ye be ne I heard the confusion part of about text messages in the twice and afi you moving on to your next issue or say kaba please those teachers who did the Better Ghana agenda advert how much were they paid? Yes, ND's via advert be a teacher for na omo yes advert and say MPP for if you are so no muji 2 million so muji 6 million 8 million but Renita from Hoho in the business say yami unim dodo e tia say teacher for teachers there omo yes Better Ghana advert na we say o TV me who say advert no be na senator say bia on so
teachers bebre oh your market answer my basa I'm not sure it's in the right direction.
We are tired of the lies and insults from the MPP. We shall remain we shall remain in opposition if we continue to Morocco the reviews a body by Kaba. Let the technicians work on the volume Adom TV volume no down. Assassin we are ba maka so no way. Or say OPK Young Patriot goes so President Mills and Mahama and the NDC, this is bad governance. Let's root them out. Nanado and the MPP all the way. Kaba, Apedo from Pristia. Thank you very much for that text message, Mate. I say, politicians should be aware. Ghana was established before politics. They should speak in a manner that peace will prevail. Abenfo Nedifi Obuase de Bay. I say, Kaba, GTV ni Adom TV. More you know, down do Aden. Ose asempe FM so nan say metunu abrofo kwa na mte patro risk can he na nye ya fakọ the nearest service center or multi TV na yenye ehun siesie edi enfama eti text messages are ebi aban penifo ya to aso na afi yenko nanado president kofo na afi nsoso no penifo ahodo a okuhie mu e taifa ya mami adwasafo na opa ni campaign hontuma na visuals wo ha ibi ya chew na penifo nsem de atoja president Kufo kire se na hwan na ka kire NDC for so omunye campaign se president Rollins nya 8 years onu Kufo nya 8 years nti onu president Milson so Ghana for nsan to abama na 8 years wo mo ba de pa no mayo ya Ghana for nyina so fan to abama mo 8 years na nado so kire se onu na wo ha nka wo yomi nsensem emfa ne hwena no mpo na nka etimi aba so e wo mem ha Dr. Baomi a kire se NDC for still propaganda and omodi economy into no man sikasem apro atitisa nti NDC there they don't deserve another 4 years. Ghanaians should reject them. Yami penifo mi ensase and reject mo majuma enso ani
kaba medasi some be catch there say yama interest there then they don't have any business as a political party nti normal for platform na say one kasa sidi o musika say ya so wow political party no ka be bon tutu ni apamu afri so but my problem kakra anytime be say propaganda they know mu gina platform so no mu ye no na ye den was it communication and I say ye den see edru baby a am before kasa now try as obe ti o masia wasem kan na ya na den but President Kufo in 2004 na ya tro 4 more for Kufo na de na no original so na odeka
osi no waye adwuma den pa oti no a osi adwuma no waye no osi he took bold decisions.
You think that bold decision are going to happen? You think that bold decision is not also about continuing projects uja honum? You think that is not a bold decision? Bold decision ni bi say President Kufo abandon Wakwan. Bole Bamboy Road. He abandoned it. Ghanem was working on that project. President Kufuor by and what was so they say the Professor Mills by what was so full interchange or to a friends in Sawam Kwanswa. And that is where we meeting inside. Of course, that is no, yeah. You see, that is where I have a problem. Mimo Kumasi, how long did it take Kufuor to construct Konongo to Kumasi? How long did it take? In country, how we say is Juma in Sawam Kwano is the same as Konongo to Kumasi, but it took 6 years. No Kumasi. Near to me, Jina Kumasi Kwanso for 2 hours, one line. No unko. Near block one line. Not quite Kanoko. What kind of hypocrisy is this? How are we talking about idea? Go back and look at the construction of that road. It is a campaign in this one here. It's a 4-year project. It started when? It started late 2007. Go and look at these records. It's be telling them young people. I have a serious problem with them. So if you calculate, go back to Sofola interchange. I was just looking at President Kufuor cutting sword in 2007. Or cutting, so it took 6 months. And Sana Jumanaka started. It started somewhere latter part of 2007. It's a 4-year project. It just add 4 years to 2008, okay, 2012. So even if the MPP were to be in power today, Sekumanya hiccups beyond, and 2012 was the expected date of completion. So what are they telling us today? Who now sign a contract to? Are you assuming and now person catch and say, MPP in the tour the anchor, man, be free suraba. No road that was here 4 years here and Kebeni 2 years. What kind of lies are we trying to tell the people of this country? Yan kind of Kuramfanya and Fanchira woman. Unless anybody can come and tell us, say, so for that interchange, and get 2 years in the area, and this is why, and 4 years here in the area. But I know very well in Kumasi that project, the standstill of that project in Okra alone was about compensation. That immediately they cut off for the project and because it's your compensation. This government came to pay compensation. You know how long it took to pay compensations? Near trust near Kanwas, yes, you was. I said, and then quite to me block up before. Yantina said that. Who say in this season, that is what happens in this country. So you say, and I say, only in 8 years, why didn't you do it? In 8 years, when the NDC was leaving power in 2000, there was already, works done on Accra Kumasi Road. 8 years, Yantimian completed Accra Kumasi Road. 8 years, Yantimian completed. Why are they not talking about the bypass? Your friends in Sawom are completed. Why are they not talking about the bypass? And Coco actually were completed. You are only talking about in Sawom Kwai. You have forgotten that there are other sections of the road and where them are completed. But if President Kufuor catch them and say, or take a bold decision because of Hepeka, I'm surprised. And that is all the achievement President Kufuor can talk about. Because in 2004, when I was listening to President Kufuor, he should tell me, if you are bold enough to say, why didn't President Kufuor say it when he was on the platform? Did he talk about school feeding? Did he talk about maternal care? Did he talk about youth employment? What did he say? The only thing he said was about board decision going to HIPIC. He's going to HIPIC the board decision.
Some of the compare the first term of his officer or by Wanyahintino, Musumo bias, Amunia here, Musumu deserve another 4 years. You don't deserve it.
Kabana just on one country, but we can talk about less depth. We can talk about years depth. Social intervention programs within 4 years. We're not talking about the continuation of the projects that President Kufuor Jai to. Today we are reading the youth employment. Go back to the MPP. They have a book. I'm surprised I didn't bring it. I'm sure that the next time I'll bring it. Next time, the Baba. So, of course, I bring it. I'm surprised I didn't bring it today. But there's a book on my title say MPP achievements improves into our manifesto. They launched it 2 months and some more launch MPP manifesto in 2008. And in that book, they raised an issue about youth employment. In that book, I say the problem, the challenge of the youth employment was funding for the program. That was the biggest problem. And this problem has been with us all this while. So if today, the MPP who brought that program and could not get funding for that project, and today, we will raise questions about that same project. And then our project now move beyond what they left. Then you have a problem to understand them. Now, President Kufuor, the infant because we all understand that issue. Let us come to Nana Adom Kufuor. He also made mention of Woyome. We've told you, Makawa, say until your friend is saying Woyome came into existence, MPP and your message, they don't have it and they will not have a message. Because anytime behind any platform is about Woyome. But you know my biggest surprise? My biggest surprise is Nana Adom Kufuor talking about Woyome. The Anthony said, when Kennedy Japan made that infamous statement, Munkuma sanctify and cry for no Munkum, a friend say, Angona for. Nana Adom Kufuor, the co-voter region. Yebusa ne sa asem. Was here court. Me pa jo wan diara. That he will not comment on an issue that is before the court. What you may issue na any court ana. What you may issue is before court. What kind of hypocrisy is Nanado is trying to exhibit to the whole world? That what you may there court and it make who asem our platform so. But Kennedy Japan kum angona phone kum gan for there. And then they were caught into voter engineer Busawa. No, no, it's not about exception. It's about the Mississippi as the it's not about that. Lot Memi uncle, Kaba, Memi uncle. So Kaba Zoti as a Memi uncle, Miss Fisa over
you don't
ever
misrepresent things.
No. Me sure so now but catch them what I should say.
Well, I'm entitled to
of course. So when you get
up to
it, I am Fisa
it's who say campaign talk.
Of course, why should another go and stand on the platform and talk up? He's a professional lawyer, so they say. The profession, you know. And it will call voter region when people had cause to complain about Nanado's statement. Our voter region against Kennedy Japan's statement. Me catch you the man understands his work. Now you want to say case in court, I mean, now what you median so work court na Nanado every time you obey your platform, you obey Biano. The understanding of his own profession, I will him the work your friends say Kaba. Me the maybe feel say if it is right and left. Say right, yeah, left Mrs. Manning. So if Nanado will not talk about the Japan statement, he shouldn't talk because they are all before the court. Right. I didn't know what's kind of was and the then to Bawumia and also more some Bawumia also mounts the platform and talk about say on to can women who has a Maya and Bawumia is saying say and Yoma in this country. I'm surprised.
Of course, because as I'm no kind, I was expecting them to mount platform and give alternatives. Let me feel some mount a platform and tell us what they will do different. But you can't tell us today. The Atachia made a statement. Atachia, he was talking about CP, he was talking about also can be Ubiaka, where you may be. But Atachia did not talk about the car issue because he was a solicitor for the car. I mean, automobile. Let me feel some for full platform. Like automobile is also taking a judgment debt, 1.5 billion. And Atachia was their solicitor. One lawyer. When they took President Kufo to court, Atachia the MP. It was full platform. I was expecting him to talking about judgment debt. No can Woyome. No can CP. No kwasa can also no magana phone na tiase say whether indeed they did something good for us. But right. I know there and I'm so on na air force so na oji hu sikanti. That is what he did. It's not the same Atachia. Why didn't he talk about Oni friends J Adom of Sunyane issue? No. Why didn't he talk about it? And also court. And they want me can was I know size can defrauding issue and only in can was him. Sound so court.
Okay. They were caught the end of
what's going me too?
Me a surprise class or that is his favorite word. Everything he's surprised.
So you are surprised what?
Yeah. Me a surprise because he's surprised about everything. How can you be surprised about everything in this world? There is a reality on the ground. And that reality is that. And yema enkwe. Na ubi mounted platform. Na o kana sama. Ona abetre ni obeka. Obeka ni opeso oka. Uso betna ha na o nye surprise that utimi kan ye opese oka. Na program na course wo Taifa no. It was a big success. And I believe that it has sent shivers down a bit more spines into they have to then rally no what address and until now surprised about ordinary statements see otherwise why obi enim say constitutionally obana ye nipani you as the president as the government you have a 4-year mandate. There is nowhere in the constitution that can say you have 8 years mandate. Never.
That is one cancer.
You have a 4-year mandate. Until over 4 years, na wo sign kwa. Na wo kwa say more. Na microphone feel say they should give you more years, near the mawa. Any interest say obi nsoba. Na microphone feel say onhia say edi bi beka ho a. Na by all means no yemfa ne sa. Enye yesa. Enye yesa enne enye yesa echema. President since I call constitutional rule 1992. President J.J. Ronson by or call back to the people after 4 years and ask that they should renew the mandate. Any demand. President Kufuor by the same. President Atamil Sonsoaba or Pepe be asking for that renewal. That is what he should do. But Mobi Mekase, because President Rollins enya 8 years, President Kufonso enya 8 years, so not automatic. I was say President Atamil Sonso enya 8 years. Debi. Yebe ko ni akoshe ni ye. Se Ghana for feel say ni waye no ebe boa Ghana for na ya continue na ya san ya renew mandate na. Then sani ebeye. But any guaranteed, and that is what they were saying, because in some circles it's being said, say, Papa Rollins ako 8 years, Papa Kufu ako 8 years, inti adena Papa Atame said ye kase monko 8 years. It is not that Obi kase monko, but it is the constitutional mandate, and that is what we should all follow. And oshe ejuma ye Papa Kufu obeye ye, nka Ghana fo amfile se obone homoden enka. Because the people of Ghana are discerning.
Say President Mills will not second term and say Nejuma and so Ghana for any.
And on a betray. And on a betray. The engine drew honor. It was so be at and was to say 8 years is not automatic. It depends on what you have done and on Crofona or Mobeto Abama or the sovereign will of the people. You bet me actually say, wait, wabo homo dia na onye. Na hipeke die. Yes, Ronko. It is not an easy step to take. So what the whole country beko na what me asan yi wo e free he pick no. It was a unique, it was a unprecedented achievement. Ayetimi yes sir. Apart from that, ye beka kwan asem dia obi enim ejuma pa NPP yenti ye sign to Abama President Kufuor emane bae. Obi ensu nim say sa social interventions no, it didn't just come from the air. Yenga ye liberal democrats. Yen ye de sa niema no ye be practicalizing no in this country. And it did not start in the second term. It started in the first. Ye nim say school feeding. It didn't just start in the second. E dia na wo be ya wo kodokra say wo be dua bibi ansana abefu. Does it just come at once? Maybe it doesn't just happen. Sa national youth employment programs nyina ye na ye de kase school under trees this anime exercise. All those things were done under Kufuor's administration. In Ghana, administration ba omoye ne maybe also ba na wa ba betwaso. But for a liberal democrat party, na yetimi e de sa niema e be boa Ghana for e reduce ohia e ya de soronko. Na obi ya de a osaye wa obe feel say e surprise ma wa ene maybe you live in a different planet. But Ghana for the omuhunye president before be enintina omo sign to abanema no. Ena Adom so say niema oba be ye atoaso to say free SHSE or the ba count to reduce the burden on the people of this country. Na near eye fekra ne say or say on no administration where you mean no NC because kaba corruption, it depend poverty.
But I mean,
Nanado, one can say, as a mere quarter or can want some. Or see why you me get a muscle. I don't want to make us. I didn't want to make us. Which part of the law says to say, want to mean Cassa, why you me get a muscle?
Can the end of so cannot will you me the end of so back me patcho.
Where you me get, you bet me I can want some because. A issue affecting the poverty of this country fundamentally.
Na ne obi asemo kan so anka someone for so be din anu asemachi anka man for be fa so ahero mo nkwan so e.
Any a separate issue concerning Ken asemo kokan. It has nothing to do with Wayomi issue. These are two separate issues. Ken asemo kan ejina ni Lante Vanderpool koye ewo odododu. Enu ameko odododu. Ankrofo bebre omo card kra omo sankan ebesinne ebi mo entimi an register to vote ehunti intimidation e course wo ho yenua esla ko ho kra ye kobo no because yesema obi owo akandi ye mani register. That is the initiation of this issue. Now following that no Ken wan kasa obi answer nko kuku obi a aden ono kra ne mani bi angrafo o se ni Lante Vanderpool say if ma akanfo ntro mudia say ni say
anyway and also
subject of discussion me pacho asem o kan no na obi betra say Ken so nkokuku nkrofo a sad because Ghana no, we don't need to deepen issues. Oh, sometimes we feel say because of political advantage. Obeka samane nyamana abuao. Adia emwa Ghana for no. Eni say ejije so. Menka say meba. E was say kind onko ye no ye okan ye no. But your kind ejina ne Nilante Van der Poel koye ye. And no so wan ka say yan sorry koye bi. This is what he is also proposing. So let us put things
tax
in
force
context.
At Ministry of Trade and Ghana Union of Traders Association. I shall see Jumedi we or memoir, Nitizuan crime, my memoir. Na shops are hodwa foreigners, women who can some retail trading. Almost any abide any 24 task force in BC. You are any course or yaba, then 7 baby na ya sorry na fi nkomaka ide atwaso. You know, yami, okay, mamifa enon twaso nefa any guta ne Ghana ne other foreigners relationship there no. Near course no ebinu ma asha say bisa say your West Africa, you say you're the same community mu na se mre bi ho sa akra na se se de be ye adwuma anka ebi a before no ade no mo amu de ka West Africa for Kenya o na ebi a China for ni ade nkefa ye fa nkoye mo ye nti wa dwen kire won
yo me da say Ghana emra e kire say ye ka ECOWAS ne ho na emra no so kire say u free ECOWAS a u betimi aba Ghana abe nantimu even for 3 months. Can be since 1984 samre edaho na say oba after 3 months no now person we year resident e was say okoji permit and also ye emra no o person okoye business e was say and also ukona uko register na uji ehun certificate na utimi register emra enye Ghana kwa e wo bebia me ko school abrochire me passport ye stampi mu say we a student onye resident enti untimi nye adwuma. So person okoye ejuma just a sign ko different permits na emra na ye de abeto ho no eya yen e wo Ghana yen famra no enye ejuma eni nti Ministry of Trade any GIPC omo hu say sa na eme in the market center foreigners no ababeji ejuma ni bebre ama Ghana for ejuma na e wo say omo timi ye no enkoyie ena sa immigration nsem ena tax nsem ni nyina abeye basa enti no e was say straighten sa na out so that nyema ne beda hoyie na Ghana no ena beye the beneficiary of all these things enti yenka say yempe ahoho e wo Ghana yenka sa yenso yenka say especially in the light of globalization say obi free baby ba yempe so obeye adwuma ana ye pamo obi da bi e wo baby e wo so omko baby also but in the center part of to say Makola say you know it was say yen crofo and it was omuyejuma now we a foreigner na opeso ye business and so it was a deposit of 300,000 sanya manu nyo biana oye the other thing is there was to me employ Ghana for be 10 so we a foreigner now be business and there was a permit a residence permit and yes, I will be 3 months, no. Now after 3 months, then you just start doing things, and that is what a deeper be foreigners ni be and ye who say a twin quichri. Obaka some time ago in Nigeria, cry entma. Yeah, Magana Fontama cry Emma. It was to protect Omo Uganda for ye. Sometimes for a temporary measure, open say one so economy and then you met me koya. Now watch it because as we speak, obi enim say enema bebre enkoyi e wo Ghana. Nti e was see a streamline nema, near making sure say sa loss emrano ye bedi so. Ni ahwe say ye betimi a check enema ni bi. Na wo hwe say foreigners e bi no so ba the way omo handle Ghana for no enkoyi last be yet say e bi no kro mo tintoso egu Ghana for omo ye ejuma ma won China for untimi nko yesa me call ye frɛ ho say setwi edan bi ho e maybe omo free Ghana be se me bɔ mudin omo nko na omo agi sa dan no a omo so omo ye homa omo ye omajuma ukọ sa market e wo sa area no ba ko so odun kwa outside no
omo nko na omo for say no adwuma omo sha ase no omo de ba ko say owura kwaku fori president the Ghana Union of Traders Association eternity our friend Guta open your for you akwaba
Kiaja opani.
Yo, enra mujumedie no ehya ase na task force abate no nse guta for mo kan ho bi. Mo hya ase no da be na mo bewie na ase mo beto aso saa.
Me pacho me da si bebre so ma yakwanya hye nso yentumi ka bi wo mo network iso. Na me chia atifo ne mo panelista e wo program no so nyina aso. Na match dwedifo nyina say the intended demonstration I hear say be kono. And I'm say aban ati yesu fredi ntino ya suspended demonstration to be a ancient so na once aban no ati yesu fredi na yesu kire no say ne pini na washa se ne de ne hu the reason why ntia e be bibia ti sa ne mu ya suspended yehwe enema back to the question I be say I'm say the ato aban nim na aban na tie na supam and ministry of trade so ati no supam and what power task force the task force no so no Oma mi ati ase se omu gusu ye dwuma saa kosi se yen botaye aisi ne so no ye bitumi adi hu nkonim ansa na omagyae nti task force ne de ya de a eti hwa febo ebe ye dwuma na regions ni nyina so no ebi regions ni nyina ene so no oma replicate no in all the 10 regions of the country nti ye nim se ano ba amudi aboye ene anamontu kro mutu ye no good for any members in the board abaso ebo ministry of trade and industry so abaso the show model say omonkoso enye adwuma na adwuma no eye sese no na obu ma unhu se ne afiti ba in effect no obi e hu fa so around the day.
Hello Bani.
Yes sir.
Ayo answer na obekro no ewumusa mo boa na se ne be adwadifo mo Ghana anso betom na mum ECOWAS for mpanifo nso ahyase kasa se kwaya task force na fa so omo ye adwuma no omo ani nyi ho asese nka bia nka Nigeria for ne ade de nka yenja omo na eyinuanum China for ma beji store ne ade omo tontonton ne man nka ye fa ani nso omo so eno mo de madwen akọ
many are the thing say ye o man shemra emra no beji de say on shebi ma ahoho no shebi ma kroma for na emra no ye shebi nka say sebe Udo here in Tumre, in Usikanism ready. Yeshemra, it affects every Tom, Dick, and Harry, our T. Omanum. And in Tisamana, I say, you need any discriminative law, Emma, ECOWAS citizens, as well as those coming from the Far East and others in the European countries. Emrano, Emra, Ganamra. And the Yesu Ba. I mean, we are not taking anything more than say, yes, Oba investment. Near say, your investment loss. Not say investment loss on FIA Juma. Now, maybe ECOWAS at the sub region. Seminar, so ECOWAS protocol, the fundamentals of the ECOWAS protocol states, say, free movement of people, goods, and services. Yes, say, if you are talking about free movement, does it apply? Juma. Since free movement na Juma and borders from Badagry to Aflau borders and can you but now you will see the borders sabi ufri Ghana now we call Nigeria for borders ahoro we twa and so could do Nigeria and how na tetia be come no no ya kan wase ma ka ye misa the ECOWAS heads of state in ECOWAS commission nankasa say dey no mo ayafa ho na sabi obi watini fi na o wona mra edi bu de mra o fi na se o de mra o di bu fi no mempene so na me peso ye ni si I mean any de menti bi sada enti Ghana as a sovereign nation no ye wo mra ye di adwuma sembra na che sembra na che ye no we are applying the laws we are making sure that the law will be enforced and enti sa investment laws is so no when you make my cultural say the 16-member ECOWAS community ni nyina no because every country be it small and not big, be it developed or underdeveloped, Ubia pay investors, Abanama Montino. Ubia our investment laws. Particular if you make mention of Nigeria, they have their investment laws. Send me again and Namfihan Moka, as Muku Samranaso. And she has been near Manswa. Inia, many money. You're Ghana for your Bonipia. Near there, ye share a buying, say, a buying a modern so with me, Edinburgh, Ayajuma. I don't know, they know. Eye ne nkofo ho bambo ene hia
yo roferi ye da se minim se nkosi bia na otwe nko na wie nkosi na atwe fofom ne ye benya bre na wankasa ene watena se ne ahwese ne nsensem a ekoso mo dwumadie no betimi aboa ma ye nyina so asesine mo ye anope mbedwa multi tv da se papa
This way the must be very Yamin come on.
You Yamin son count, but you mammy Namiko Yami ho.
Yeah, near Tiana say, Emra nye juma, yentimin ko yenim the way I cast a pesi econo. Krubia, ye bo Malaysia, Singapore, omina, omudi mra ne juma. Inti sienso, ye wa Ghana, yema emrano, enye juma. Na obi beka say, oh, any Ebeka say Ghana for, yempenkro for, yenye part of the global world and all that, and that ebeha adreno, mesre. They will see a drink Ghana first. They make sure say yes we me protect ya ho kakra na ye neighbors no omonti ase say ye nya adwuma ni yi wo hwe EU kra EU omo starting say you omo starting kakra ansa na omo abeye bebia omo ayeduru omo one currency omo de ye adwuma no and omo so that so enti ye wasa ye so no me and lipi into it
ya me
into your bo na mamra ni nya
me bre na so an say enti we de bonta o mama
yeah cover say go there yamfa any adebia twist bia yamfa ento
by surprise
you know that kind of there o the twist it but
the twist
no waka wasem go anka sanka me surprised
am say we issue a boy ni na me kai those times when Nigeria for issue statement say Ghana goose bia anya den emfa enko anti no mo yesa no na omo consider ECOWAS treaty no ana say again tina no mo yeden no mo yesa but I think that foreigners now are taking undue advantage of ebia laws na yan enforce no ntesa so be wura Ghana ha na mra no ese before obetimi aye retailing no so go through certain process but yenya ne sa enko ye wo baby bebre ya wo say yetimi eblem no omo hire these shops to these foreigners no omo so they have something also to do about it because answer na obedi bema foreigner no you have to also see to the person in area where they or the eba to make sure that or you right to occupy that ade and do that business but the yenya sa yenya nkasa so Ghanaians na nkasa so that's a problem because baby I was in nipa no kono kwaje whatever documentation e be ma no atimi aye adwuma no na state na benefit from that no ubon no afa akire foreigner no ba
Ghana ni
dinanu otu ebibi kakra na ya de na faculty kwans na na I think that the task force enforcing these laws ebi aye nyi wom completely but they will be forced to go and officially do their documentation well na state no whatever benefit was a state ninya ewo mo adwuma na omudi no so state ni site me etimedia ka we there I think that everybody should support the task force and the government to undertake this exercise MY
abusafo ye dey see her o pensemu Mami Otiko office Jaba National Women's Organizer New Patriotic Party NFA Sunura Yamin Joseph Yamin ono Ashanti Regional Secretary de ma ni NDC o mo baba boy text messages ahodo e ba ni bebre no ano e doso ntinya de betimi akenkan ni nyina okay ye kwani abayo nkomodie de fa dansie ene eho asiesie adwumadie ye PVC no hu nkomodie wo ho a ye de beto also ansana fisema ba me de dwumadie nyina ko mpanifo me da mo ase say mobile ba mo amohwe so ko ba bia ye ba sisi ankomo a e de ba ko ho a ye de beto aso de ama ansana nondu e de dwumadie nyina akọ na wie ye ba sisi a